He's Nintendo's most popular character, but boy oh boy, has Super Mario proven to be a touch difficult to adapt to the big screen. As we previously covered on our show Awfully Good, the 1993 big screen live action version of Super Mario Bros. Was a disaster, but now, 30 years later, a faithful version of the classic video game series has finally hit the silver screen, with it doing the series justice in the only way they ever really could, by making it animated. Coming from Universal and Illumination, Super Mario Bros. Seems likely to spin off another popular franchise for the two studios, who already have the Despicable Me, Minions, and Sing series going pretty strong. Fans of the series will appreciate all of the Easter eggs, which come all the way from the original games to the newer games and even the animated TV show that some of us watched as kids. But at the end of the day, keep your expectations in check, gang, because after all, this is a movie for kids, and it's pretty obvious that all involved wanted to make this enjoyable, even to really young kids who may have never even picked up their parents' Nintendo Switch. Voiced by Chris Pratt and Charlie Day, the Mario brothers, Mario and Luigi, translate fairly well to the big screen. While some may be upset that Chris Pratt isn't doing much of a Mario voice, it's all explained, there's a reason for this. And both him and Day do their best to try and evoke a kind of cartoonish Brooklyn accent that I don't think has really been featured too much in the ads. In this, the boys are starting their own plumbing company, only to get sucked into the Mushroom Kingdom, which is on the verge of being invaded by the love-struck Bowser, voiced by Jack Black, who wants to marry Anya Taylor-Joy's Princess Peach. Well, in a lot of the games, Mario has to rescue the princess from Bowser's clutches. Here it's the easily frightened Luigi who's kidnapped. While some may complain that this is Nintendo going woke, to me this isn't all that different from the games in which Peach and Toad, voiced by Keegan-Michael Key here, were always playable characters. Peach does her signature moves here, including floating around by her skirt, and there are nods to all the popular games including Mario Kart, Super Smash Bros., and even, pretty briefly, Luigi's Mansion. For the most part, the voice casting seems on point. Pratt is a likable Mario, while Day, despite being a wimpier Luigi than I remember, is giving all to his role. Jack Black is a good Bowser, despite the two musical numbers they give him to pad out the really brief running time. I mean, this movie only runs about 80 minutes, and that's without credits, of course, but still pretty short. While Keegan-Michael Key's voice is given a high-pitched working over to play Toad. However, Seth Rogen doesn't seem to be doing too much as Donkey Kong, with his energy level a touch low all things considered. Anya Taylor-Joy, however, is great as Princess Peach, and heck, she looks so much like the character in real life that were they to make a live-action version of Super Mario Bros., heck, she could play the part again. The visuals do a pretty good job evoking the games, particularly the more sophisticated Super Mario Odyssey on Switch, my personal favorite, with the soundtrack by Brian Tyler and Koji Kondo pretty faithful to the games. Here's my problem with the movie though. It wasn't much of a film at all. For the most part, I felt like I was watching somebody play Super Mario, and being a pretty devoted fan of the franchise, despite being in my 40s, I wanted my turn at the controls. Watching people play Mario Kart and Super Mario Odyssey will never be as much fun as playing it yourself, but hey, I'll give the movie this. I wanted to run home, turn on the Switch, and play the heck out of the game for a few hours. It'll sell a lot of games, that's for sure, and kids will love it, but I wouldn't be surprised if the novelty wears off a bit for older fans, and they all start itching to go home and just play the games themselves. That said, the movie's so short that, hey, it's never too much of a trial to sit through, and in the end, I give it a fairly decent 6 out of 10. It's faithful, but as a movie, of course, it's kind of in one ear and out the other. That said, it's definitely better than the 1993 version. Whoa boy.